Good morning. Welcome to our Unit 2 video. My name is Eva Garza.
I'm Jacqueline De Leon.
And I am Jessica Dupas. So to begin with our discussion today, we're going to start with the ISTE standards for teachers. And the standard for this one is number 2, and it's design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. And this substandard has four substandards, and they include authentic learning experiences. If you could go to the next slide. Technology-rich learning environments, personalized learning to fit unique learning styles, and varied assessments. And in reviewing the Horizon reports, I found that all 4 of these substandards are addressed in some way in this week's reading for the K through 12 educators. For starters, authentic learning experiences, they're addressed as a solvable challenge, and some suggestions include apprenticeships and portfolio-based assessments, which also brings in that varied assessments element. The next one, personalized learning, in the Horizon reports is considered a difficult challenge. And the suggestions for this one include mobile learning to give students access to their class information 24/7 via some kind of online learning environment through the use of a flipped or blended classroom, one of those 2 teaching models. So all 4 are definitely addressed in the Horizon reports. And now I'm going to turn it over to Jacqueline to address the ISTE standards for students.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica. So I'm going to be talking about 2 ISTE standards today, and I'm beginning for the one for students, specifically the Research Information Fluency Standard. So if we can go to the next slide. It discusses the needs for students to be able to use digital tools to gather, evaluate, and use information. So I'm going to focus on college students. So in their courses, these college students are learning a variety of things, anywhere from theories to formulas, things like that. But they aren't taught in the classroom how to use digital resources available to them. And these are resources that could help them maximize their efficiency. So this is why the 2016 Horizon Report of Higher Education mentions that there is a digital skills gap between the skills that students possess when they graduate from college and the ones they need to be successful both in the job market and in the workplace. So the Horizon Report also mentions that because of this issue, there are new curriculums and programs that are being developed and that are arising. And I was an academic program administrator at the University of St. Thomas a while back. And I was actually a part of a program like this. We had a workshops program. And so these workshops were meant to shrink the digital skills gap. And like mentioned here in the ISTE standard bullets here, these students need to understand how to plan their research, what sources of information or digital tools they use to use, and how to evaluate and report the results using digital tools is crucial to their success in school and in their future careers. So let's move on to the next ISTE standards for administrators. And this discusses the excellence in professional practice. So this ISTE standard discusses the need for administrators to foster an environment of learning that enables educators to enhance student learning through the use of these digital tools. If we can go to the next slide, please. So as mentioned in the Horizon Report on Higher Education, there is a rise in the use of blended learning. And education is rapidly becoming more than just a face-to-face interaction between teacher and student. The universities are now understanding the benefit of blended learning and are adopting it more and more. That sounds great, right? It sounds like, it's easy to implement, this and that. Well, having been an administrator, I can tell you that it's not that easy. We want these professors to implement this new method of teaching, which a lot of them sometimes are not comfortable with. So there has to be a lot of communication involved between the administrators, faculty, and staff. First of all, helping them understand the benefits of these methods, providing them with necessary resources to advance their own digital skills and understand the use of these digital tools, and creating an environment that really promotes this sort of innovation is very critical, as is mentioned in the bullets here for the ISTE standard. So I'm going to pass it now to Eva. She's going to talk about the ISTE standards for coaches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacqueline. So my part has to do with standards for coaches, and some of the definition that I saw in the Horizon report, uh, in the ISTE standards. A coach is somebody that inspires and participates in the implementation. And I think us as students, and also not just the teachers and the administrators, we all kind of become a coach in pushing these standards forward. So this standard itself has to do with teaching, learning, and assessment. Basically, coaches assist teachers in implementing technology to making sure that that you're assessing the students properly. You're also giving personalized instruction that is also provides depth in your thinking and also engages you. So there are 8 substandards that relate to this standard. And the first one, it's making sure that you implement technology-enhanced learning experiences. And I think this experience we're actually going through right now, having a video conference to making sure we understand the topic that we're learning about. It's definitely a technology-enhanced experience. And it's also improving digital literacy. A lot of the tools that I've learned so far, I did not know before. Now I'm more literate because of that. Also, this topic, this substandard C, making sure that we have interdisciplinary exposure, making sure that we have formal and informal learning experiences. I think that is one of the challenges too that they discuss in the Horizons report, because how do you prove sometimes that you have knowledge through maybe reading or talking or being engaged in a community of a certain topic? How do you translate that into the formal education and get credit for that kind of stuff? So they pose that as a challenge as well. And I think as a student, I do see that being a challenge too. Also, you have these competing models of formal and informal education where you have a standard that you follow through a syllabus, and then you also have these informal channels where you learn also from each other. So how do you balance that into the classroom? And that relates to being able to be creative into making sure that all of that is incorporated. So that is also a challenge. Following through with the other substandards, they talk about personalized learning. Me, myself, I am more of a visual learner. So making sure that we kind of have different types of exposure to different learning environments, I think is very critical. And I think through this class also, I've been able to learn just talking to people and reading, blogging. I had done blogging before, and also keeping it relevant. I had been using a lot of tools that were kind of outdated, so making sure that the professor coaches us in that direction to keep relevant. And one last one that I thought it was pretty interesting, that I'm an IO student, so we do a lot of surveying and questionnaires, and I was exposed to more surveys and questionnaires through these units too. So making sure that we learn technology and how to assess people, and also push that use through others. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So that concludes my my part of the standards. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.